Today, live from the rinks in Hop Park, New York, the Stony Brook University Seawolves take on the University of Delaware Blue Hens in an ACHA Division I matchup. You're watching Seawolves Hockey Live. And welcome to Seawolves Hockey Live, everyone. Andy Mignani along with Andy Sukoff, Trevor Mignani behind the controls. And last night we had a pretty interesting game, Andy. The Stony Brook Seawolves did manage to win the game. And, 3-goal win, not bad. In most cases, everybody would think it'd be a 5-2 victory would be nice. But if we had to take anything away from that game yesterday, it wasn't a great effort by the Seawolves. There were too many ups and downs in that game.
A lot of inconsistency, especially in the neutral zone where we saw a lot of turnovers committed by both teams, really. But Stony Brook was able to convert off a couple turnovers, getting some quality shots in on Dylan Troiano and converting where they needed to.
Two bright spots for the Seawolves last night by far. Derek Wilms, who shined brightly last night, played outstanding in net, actually kept the Seawolves in the game, able to keep the Seawolves ahead in the game for the whole entire game. And Frank Scherting, defenseman number 27, Frank Scherting, last night scored the first goal of the game as a power play goal. But the first goal of the game, which got the Seawolves finally going. They came out so, I don't want to say lethargic, but they came out slow. They came out uncharacteristically slow, in my opinion. And even Coach Garofalo said the same thing, just a real sluggish start. But that first goal got them going.
Yeah, that's what they needed. That was the catalyst to the rest of the game. Scherting wound up also getting an assist as well later in the game. And he's been one of their most impressive defensemen this year, and doing that as a freshman, getting some quality ice time.
And on the other side of the rink, Troiano was peppered with a lot of shots by the Seawolves, and he'll get the start again today. He'll be in net for Delaware. Played exceptionally well. Some of the goals, you couldn't blame him on last night. He got hung out to dry by his defense a little bit. Other player who played exceptionally well last night was number 12, Redgate. Played well.
Yeah, John Redgate is a very strong player for the Blue Hens. He makes a lot of plays happen out there. And when you have guys like Cole Zucker, who while he scored last night, isn't as much of a factor, you got to have your secondary guys like Redgate out there doing the work.
And Zucker played well. Freeman played well too, but Redgate had a little bit more jump, a little bit more emotion, and I think that type of thing, experienced player, someone who's been around the team for a couple of years now, and able to generate some emotion for the younger guys, and that's what they need. We had a great conversation talking with Rocky Romanello today regarding the team and your conversation with him. Again, you'll be talking with him again at the end of the first period today, so we're going to want to feel what he feels at the end of the first today. But talking about getting the team to be a little bit more physical, get a little bit more between the ears, a little relaxed as far as organization on the ice, start running around, and those little words got the team going in the second period, and they got their goals. They got them because they made some adjustments, and Seawolves really just played their game, didn't make too many adjustments.
Yeah, and Delaware converted off a couple turnovers from Stony Brook, especially the second goal that they scored at the end of the second period, which nearly turned the tide of the game at that point. And that's what Stony Brook has to be aware of today, to not let these turnovers turn into quality chances on the other end.
Right. We do have some changes. I'll go through the Stony Brook changes. You go through the Delaware changes for today. Seawolves are just going to scratch Gervasi. Haney will center that line with Amodio and Bozer. Brian Bozer will be back in the lineup today. Back on defense will be number 52, Kevin Cavanaugh. Will be back playing his second game of the season. He's deemed himself well enough to go, so Cavanaugh will be back in today. Sitting today will be Kevin Barry. Wearing Kevin Barry's jersey today will be normally number 23, Vin Lopes, who had a equipment malfunction. We'll leave it at that. So Vin Lopes will be wearing Kevin Barry, and his jersey today, but for the most part, Lopes will be on that same line that he's played with for almost the whole season. So we might be calling Vin Lopes' name. There's no name on the back of the jersey, as you can see.
Smart move there by Lopes to just put some tape on the back of the jersey.
Yeah. So, but anyway, a little equipment malfunction, and Lopes in the lineup, and we'll see how they work out today. In net today for the Seawolves will be Brendan Jones, number 39, and he'll be backed up by number 32, Todd Scarola. So that's the Seawolves for today. We still have JT Hall out of the lineup due to an injury, but he'll be ready to go on the trip next week when they go to Arizona. What do you got for Delaware?
Well, there's really only a couple changes in today's lineup. Drew Torrey's going to be in. He's going to be wearing number 25. And then also in is Andy Carapi wearing number 19. Out for today is Marcelo DeAngelis, who wore number 11 yesterday. And Noble Tucker is going to be the backup instead of Rochefort. So other than that, it's basically all the same.
All right, very good. We'll get your referees as soon as we find out who they are. They are conspicuously hiding their names under their warm-up stuff, but we'll have them for you for the start of the game. And got another couple of minutes to go in the warm-up here. And there'll be, and we'll have the start probably around 3:35 or so, 3:30, maybe 3:40 will be the start date. Let's go around the league.
There were a lot of big games this week, including one of the big ones. Number 1 Arizona State falls to Lindenwood 3-2 in a shootout. Obviously, our game 5-2, Stony Brook victory. Rhode Island beat Lebanon Valley 4-3. Some of the other games that went final, Rutgers beat Westchester 11-4. Liberty up by Rochester 7-3. Ohio beat Iowa State 4-1. Then one of the other big ones you had down here, Minot State with a 3-1 victory over the University of Illinois.
So there'll be some changes in the standings. ASU losing in a shootout to a team ranked. What's the ranking of the team that?
Lindenwood, I believe, is number 6.
Right. So we will have a little effect. Now they're meeting again today for a second game. Second game today. Okay. So not sure how the shootout works differently, but when a number 1 ranked team loses to a number 6 or higher, there usually is a movement of a slot.
There will be some shifting in the standings today.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens when the computers come out next week.
Stony Brook Seawolves are going to try to take 2 here. Try their best to take a team like Delaware down for 2 games, and they really need this game, but so does Delaware. Talking to Rocky Romanello, the coach of Delaware, he was adamant about how important this game is to try to come away with a win. He watched the game last night, after they went back to their room, and by the way, producer, loves our production, just so I forget to tell you that. But he watched the game and made some mental notes and realizes that this team is not that far away from where they need to be.
Yeah, they're built on youth, so they have a lot of players who are going to be here long term. As we look at the rankings here, with ASU losing, we could easily see Central Oklahoma jump up to number 1, and a win for Stony Brook today could potentially bump them up into the top 5.
It is potential. Central Oklahoma has been kind of like the Cinderella team, the team this year who's really not moved much in the rankings. Between 1 and 2, they've been there all along. Arizona State as well, and now you got Arizona State going to have 4 losses. Was that an updated, as of today, not updated, so 24-4 versus our Central Oklahoma at 21-4. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go on the rankings.
It's also, as you look at it here, the top 3 teams are all WCHL teams before it runs down into some of the other conferences. So they really exalt their dominance over the ACHA this year. But now that ASU went down, you can see some of the teams from some of the other conferences like the ECHL and others bump up and challenge.
Right, and in 2 years, Arizona State goes NCAA.
Yeah, next year they do a hybrid type scheduling where all their NCAA games are on the road, all their ACHA games are going to be at home, and then in 16-17 they play a full NCAA schedule.
Yeah, and be very interesting to see. We have Pennsylvania did that.
Penn State did that a couple years ago.
So they're in NCAA, and folks have always asked, what's the story with Stony Brook? And it really comes down to having money and having your own rink to do it. When you would think And you
And having one of those donors give a lot of money.
But you would think that, with all the hockey enthusiasts on Long Island, with a real passion for the sport, as well as some nice greenbacks, that they would pony up here and talk to the Stony Brook people about putting a rink on that facility, which has plenty of room, lots of acreage open. But who knows what will happen in a couple of years. But meanwhile, they're a good club team. We love calling the games. And you'll see a good one this afternoon, no doubt, as Delaware is going to come hard and fast, I'm sure, as they did yesterday. So with that, we are going to take our break and come back to you before the drop of the puck. So stick around. You're watching Seawolves Hockey Live, and thanks for joining us.
Welcome back to Seawolves Hockey Live. I'm Andy Sukoff. Andy Mignani will be back here in just a minute. We're about a few minutes away from the start of the game between Stony Brook and Delaware. So right now, out on the ice, we have one of the charities that Stony Brook works with, Miracle League. They're out here tonight, and it's always nice to see them giving back to the community. So as these kids get the time of their lives out on the ice. But looking back at yesterday's game, a 5-2 victory for the Seawolves. A game that was really back and forth both ways, where Delaware dominated at some points, Stony Brook took control at many points, but at the end, all that matters is that the Seawolves had more goals than the Blue Hens. 5-2 victory, looking to do that again today to get the sweep and jump up in the rankings. Like we mentioned in the pregame, with the number 1 team going down, and there were a bunch of other games yesterday with top 5 teams, some that didn't get reported on ACHA yet, where those games could be huge going down the line. Stony Brook, after tonight, has 4 more home games and about 4 road games as well. So looking here, Andy, as you're now back with us, as we talked about in the pregame, this is a huge game for the Seawolves today.
It is a big game. Just down talking to the refs that are coming on the ice now. So you get Bernie Altner will be the head ref. Brian Rubin and Mike Seltzer will be manning the lines. You're right. It's a big game. Big game for both teams.
Yeah, it is. I mean, both teams have a lot to gain in this game. So this is a game where where Seawolves really need to establish control early, so that way keep Delaware out of the game.
Right. And Seawolves getting ready to come onto the ice as they dim the lights, except for our little dome, which we like to have. We're glad you could join us today for the second of 2 games between the Stony Brook University Seawolves and University of Delaware Blue Hens as the Seawolves make their way onto the ice. And they're just about all on, and Delaware will make their way on too as they make their way down to the door. This is going to be a very interesting game. A game that both teams really need, and I think today, it's going to be the hardest game.
Yeah, we saw yesterday that things got a little heated at points, and now that game is behind both teams,
right?
The Seawolves can't fall into the same traps they did at points yesterday. They need to get past that, work on the communication in the neutral zone, make crisper passes. That's something we saw a lot of yesterday, that there were a lot of turnovers that really shouldn't have happened, including one that led directly to a goal.
Teams are on the ice, and they'll get ready to make the announcement of the starting lineups. And then immediately after that, we'll take a short break and come back for the drop of the puck. So just be aware we're going to take another little quick short break before we come to the end. We've got a shout out.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Right now they're going down to center ice down.
Delaware University team, and the starting lineup for the Delaware University team is 32, Vincent Signorelli.
Signorelli going to be the center for the Blue Hens to open the game.
Number 7, Max Freeman. Number 13, Alex Boucheray. Number 22, J.C. Boncaccio. And then
All right, we'll be right back. We'll come back and we'll have the start of the game for you. This is Seawolves Hockey Live.
Aztec Photos is the action sports event photography service for Stony Brook hockey. Visit aztecphotos.com, then click on the sports link to view Stony Brook hockey galleries by year. Visit aztecphotos.com.
And welcome back to Seawolves Hockey Live, everyone. Just a quick shout out to Bill Longobardi down in Florida, who's watching the game. We appreciate you tuning in. And the girls from Angela's house are back again on the ice, and they are getting taken off right now. And it's always great to see them here.
Yeah, we got Miracle League.
Miracle League, sorry. It looked like they were the same folks that were here for Angela's house last week, were they not?
they look similar, but
Different charity. Okay.
Different charity, but it's still good to see. Like I had said before, it's good to see Stony Brook giving back to the community.
Excellent. Excellent. All right, so we're getting ready to go here. Our referees, as I said before, we've got Altner is our head ref, Rubin and Seltzer on the lines. Seawolves come out with their starting lineup, which will be Lazaldi, Capola, Brewster, Gilbert, and Joseph on defense. In net for the Seawolves will be Brendan Jones. Countering, Redgate, Zigarelli, Freeman, Brancaccio, and Guerrero. Guerrero back for the puck. Picked up by Capola. Capola for the Seawolves, down low. Looking the puck behind the net. Squeezed off by Guerrero. Picked up by Brancaccio. Now he's pitched off by Brewster, but up comes Delaware. And a shot by Freeman gets deflected to the corner. Joseph with a hit. Puck in the corner. Picked up by Capola. He's rammed hard by Freeman. Comes in hard. Now big hit by Gilbert. Boys are hitting hard. Redgate just got knocked down by Joseph as both teams are bringing the physical aspect of the game early, trying to set up the dominance of the game. Joseph sends one to the net, deflected to the corner. This is Brewster sending it back behind. Picked up by Brancaccio. Picked up by Capola. Back to Gilbert. Fans on the slap shot. Did not get it. It was Brewster now sending it down to Lizaldi as the Seawolves start to change up.
Gilbert's going to wish he had that one back. That puck was right there. He had nobody in front of him. Open shot on the goalie and couldn't convert.
All right, Brancaccio up on left wing to Redgate. Guerrero will dump and change. This is Balls of Fury for the Seawolves. A weak dump to the corner over to Miano, picked up by Underhill. Underhill stretch pass across to Balls of Fury, just past his reach. Somebody dropped a glove. Satola now for the Seawolves, getting it to Underhill, but not on the stick, off his stick, picked up by Delaware. Stretch pass across to Mullen, picked off by Miano.
And before the game, Coach Romanello spoke very highly of Mullen to us.
Yes, very happy with his play. This is Mullen dumping back in for the Seawolves. Jones holds it up for Bowser Fury as everyone goes for a change. Picked up by Bowser Fury. Pass up to Satola. Passes are not crisp enough right now, and this is Skiing coming in shooting on Jones. Makes a save.
Nice save by Jones there. Just put it right into the chest and hung onto it.
Key to makes these passes have to be on the tape in order to get the teams out of their zones and get from one zone to the next. And passing is still not too crisp. On the faceoff, Bocucchio loses it. Now Barbera fights his way through. Coming in, Barbera to Bocucchio. His shot is deflected to the corner.
He had Lopes on the other side as well, who was waiting for a pass as well.
Yeah, Kelowna made a nice defensive play to redeem himself there on the giveaway in the neutral zone. This is Lopes now with a stretch pass all the way across. Bocucchio not in the range. Past Barbera. Picked up by Lesenik. He sends it in. Jones. This is Miller. Neutral zone pass to sent right back in. Good play in the neutral zone by Delaware right now. Not giving the Seawolves that chance to get those legs moving.
Yeah, Delaware playing much like they did in the first period of yesterday's game, where they mounted a lot of pressure.
Lopes is going to go on. Lopes is going to go here for holding as he took Guerrero down. Very frustrating. But when you're facing speed, if you're not able to beat it, not a good penalty to take in the offensive zone.
No, not at all.
First power play opportunity for Delaware, who was 0 for 3 yesterday on the power play. One of the things that Coach Romanella said, we want to capitalize on that power play. Actually, they took both of them off. I didn't realize that. Both players are going off. So where it's even up, it'll be a 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. Lopes will go off with Guerrero for Incidental Miners. Satola on the draw against Redgate. Satola wins the draw. Back to the point, picked up by Delaware. Racing in was Zigarelli, who had the goal, two goals yesterday for Delaware. Fired back in. Now, all alone is Redgate. He comes in, he fires, he scores on the giveaway, and there goes Delaware up on top, 1-0 on the giveaway by the Seawolves.
Those turnovers are what kills teams, and Redgate knows how to put the puck in the net, like we just saw right there.
Yep, left Jones all alone down low. There was no defense down there to help him, and again, these lapses of that happen to the Seawolves here and there. It's 4-on-4 hockey right now. You got to be aware of that. There's one less player on the ice. Kavanaugh out there for his first shift for the Seawolves, along with, and now Kavanaugh gives it away. And there's another one off the post. Oh, shot. Delaware's coming out hot and fast. The Seawolves came out flat yesterday and were able to bypass this because Wilms stood on his head. And today, Jones lets up the first goal, and the Seawolves still look a little flat. I don't know what they're looking at.
Yeah, they're not looking very solid right now. Here we're going to look at the replay of the goal.
Yeah.
Joseph with it.
Now, the
Flipping
puck,
out the board. Flips out the boards.
yeah, off the boards pass was ill-advised because you're 4-on-4, and if it's not a good pass in your zone, and that's what happened. The giveaway goes, both defense out of position, and again, another uncharacteristic play that doesn't usually happen. And there's a hook now. We're going to call that on Delaware is going to go because it was a strong hook. Not the 35 fans in the stands that agree with that, but that was a hook. And Delaware will have to kill off the power play right now. The Seawolves, which desperately need something to get their game going.
Yeah, this is where they have the chance. You have a lot of open ice out there, 4-on-3, and they get to have that for a minute 10.
Faceoff will be in the Delaware zone to the left of Troiano. And Seawolves come out with Boccaccio, Kavanaugh, Joseph, and Barbera. Faceoff won by Delaware. Fired all the way down as it's now 4-on-3 for another minute to go, and then it'll be a 5-on-4 for another minute 45. Picked up by Kavanaugh, racing through the neutral zone. Lots of open ice. Kavanaugh just dumps in and going after it. Hits Brancaccio, knocks him flying. Kavanaugh's looking to play his game today. This is over to Kavanaugh at the point. Back to Barbera. Barbera wide open, making a play across to Brancaccio. Back to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh back to Brancaccio. Cross pass to Barbera. Oh, it's tapped in by Joseph. Seawolves right back on the board with a power play goal. Nice, pretty play. Joseph making up for that missed pass off the board there. And Seawolves tie it up.
We're going to look at that again on replay. And we're going to look down here. Kikio controls it in the corner, flipping it back out to the point where they do a give and go.
Touch pass to Joseph right there. He's wide open. Nobody's on him. It's just an easy goal.
There's no way to stop that.
Yeah. And that's what you want to be able to do. You want to be able to capitalize on those opportunities, power play opportunities, and the Seawolves do it. And they did it twice yesterday as well. So yeah, all right. So Seawolves win the faceoff. Coming in is Lizaldi. 3-on-2. Breaking in with Brewster. Unable to get the shot on goal. Down left wing. Oh, nice move. Nice move. Oh, it just missed. Skating in past the defenseman of the Seawolves was a new player in the lineup today. Right? No, actually, it was Ryan Pate. He was there yesterday, too. Good move by Pate. Almost put it in. Dump to the cross corner. Back to get it is Braun. Braun sends it back behind the net, but Lizaldi's there only for the Seawolves. Lizaldi picks it up to Brewster. Brewster, who's watched, trying to get it to Coppola, and the pass was just out of his reach. Dumped in by number 18, that's Bastone. Through the neutral zone. Comes Coppola, he's out there with Haney. Coppola's probably out there a little late as the fourth line's making their play in the zone now.
So the fourth line yesterday really come up big in the game yesterday.
This is Haney. Haney going to just dump in. Modio in on the forecheck going after Cologne.
One of the big things that the fourth line did yesterday, they really contained the Cole Zucker line that has been really offensively gifted this season.
That puck was hoisted out of the rink, and then the faceoff will be outside the zone. Kelowna made a play around the board trying to get it to Skiing, and then the Stony Brook defender pinched in, and puck wound up going out of the rink. So here we go. Bozer, Haney, and Amodio versus Zucker, Skiing. And third man, this is Kelowna. Back into the neutral zone. Turnover again. Haney picks it up for the Seawolves. Watched by Zucker. Haney gets it deep, picked up by Modi. He's got Boza right there. Oh, he shot it wide. Troiano may have got a piece. Oh, and that just trickles wide. It's the fourth line for the Seawolves putting it on.
They've been doing very well in this series. They've gotten many quality chances for the Seawolves.
Miller did a good job keeping the puck in initially. Bozer now backs up Miller. And the Seawolves trying to keep that puck in, trying to maintain that pressure. Oh, Haney's going off. Puck just went right past him. This is Zucker coming in. Zucker fires. It's off of Miller. Actually, Schurting. And Schurting knocks Zucker off the puck. Guerrero now takes a shot. His shot was deflected going in. Miller on the puck for the Seawolves. Throws it around the wall. Trying to get it. Got it to Satola.
The Seawolves have done a better job today of clogging up the passing lanes and not letting Delaware maintain any kind of pressure in the offensive zone.
All right, Underhill along with Katkamp. Katkamp's pass was deflected. Oh, there's a break for Mullen coming in. Jones will just stick it to the corner as Gilbert and Joseph both were kind of watching a little bit, but no harm, no foul. Pick it by Satola through the neutral zone. Dumps it off to Underhill. Gets it back to Satola. It's immediately met by Guerrero. And Underhill and Satola need to communicate better. They have better opportunities there right in front of them. This is Muller. Nice play. Get that puck across, and Jones just sticks it to the corner. Back on the forecheck. Back on the back check was Ryan Kotkamp.
Yeah, Kotkamp playing as well defensively as he has this season. And this is where the players all need to step up and block in front of Jones. We saw that on the last rush where they blocked several shots. And that's great because the less shots that Jones has to face is going to be better in the long run.
12:18 left to go in the first period. We got a 1-1 game. Shots on goal, 3 for the home team, Stony Brook, and 5 for Delaware. Joseph backhands it up the wall, trying to get Barbera to tap it through, but couldn't get it through. Okiki now back up the wall to Barbera, watched by Redgate. Gets it past Redgate, now skating out, 3-on-2. Here comes Lopes down right wing with Joseph. Oh, but Joseph was offsides, a little ahead of the play.
And Joseph wanted to get that second goal, but then went in a little bit too early. And Joseph playing in his last home game here as a member of the Seawolves, looking to make as big an impact as he can.
Yes, he'll be heading over to Spain.
I'd like to go to Spain.
To play in the World
University
All-Star.
games.
Yeah. Last year he was there with Ryan Kotkamp. They both went there.
And this year Sam Brewster's going with them.
They did pretty well. So it is Delaware controlling the puck at the point. Shot! Oh, block it down by Jones. It's a good screen in front by Redgate. Jones was able to see through it. Miano throws it up the wall to Lopes. Bangs it out through the neutral zone. Knocked down with a high stick, but coming through. Shot and saved by Jones. And back out into the neutral zone. Controlled by Kelowna, who fires it in cross corners. Everyone going for a change. Miano picks the puck up, looking for some help. Down the wall, picked off. Neutral zone play, picked up by Barbera now. Here comes Barbera on his off wing. Wise fires over the top of the net. Brewster fires it behind the net. Zaldi digging hard for it. On top of him is Penner.
Barbera isn't afraid to wind up and fire that slap shot.
Pola getting it over to Brewster. Fires it right on goal. Troiano will hold.
And Troiano yesterday made close to 40 saves for Delaware because Stony Brook continuously peppered them with shots. And we're seeing a lot of that again here where the shot total is building very quickly.
All right, face-off won by the Seawolves. They maintain possession in the zone. Now coming out with it is Zucker through the neutral zone for Delaware. Zucker makes a pass toward the middle, picked up by the Seawolves. They'll come back in transition through the neutral zones. Capola drop pass to Lazzali, back to Capola. Zaldi picks the puck up. Now Brewster's got it. Brewster's pushed off the puck by Penner, but picks it up, using his strength and his size. Back to the point to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh controls the puck. Down to Brewster. Brewster's shot. Deflected back to Schurting. Fires it right on. No wind-up there. Schurting getting a good hard shot on goal and a save.
Schurting's really having an impressive series here.
Oh, rising shot. Saved by Jones.
going back to Sheridan for a second, he's having an incredible series against Delaware. A goal and assist last night, some key defensive plays, and he's continuing to improve his offensive capability and taking those risks, taking those shots, and not first looking for pass.
Yeah. Faceoff is going to be to the left of Jones, and now it squirts out into the neutral zone. We've got a little camera change going on, folks. We'll be right with you. It's one of our cameras has maybe seen better days. I'm not sure. We'll find out.
All those technical difficulties are the ones that we love the most, aren't they?
But we've got a real quick. All right. Fired all the way down to the Stony Brook zone. Picked up by Jones. He'll fire around the wall to Bozer. And not out yet. Delaware doing a good job keeping the puck in. Gilbert going for it. For the Seawolves trying to get it up the wall. Boccaccio pitching in. Doing an excellent job pitching in there. And Gilbert now. Here's a hoist pass through the neutral zone to Bozer. Bozer trying to make a move. Haney keeping it in. Bozer making another move, trying to get around two defenders. Guerrera.
Bozer had the puck go a little bit too far past him and wasn't able to get really good control of it, and had to give the puck up.
And up to the neutral zone. Dumping the puck in.
All right, looking down here with Delaware, they're trying to continue to cycle the puck around, but Stony Brook playing much better defensively.
All right. That puck deflects high, knocked down with a glove, but kept in by Underhill. Good job keeping that puck in deep. Fires around the wall. Trying to keep that puck in was Miano, but it squirts out. Miano, now he gets dumped and fires all the way around to Balzafury. Balzafury unable to get the puck moved, and the shot trickles behind the net. Miano to Underhill. Underhill gets checked, but he gets it up to Satola, and he's got Kotkamp breaking to the net. Kotkamp! Oh, Churiano got a stick on it and fires right on goal. Churiano to the corner with the puck. Satola picks it up. 3 Seawolves behind the net working that puck. That's what Coach Garofalo wants to see. He wants to see working that puck down low. Fired a screen just past Churiano into the back of the net, actually behind the net. Underhill will control it here and just try to get it in as the team at that line will go for a change.
And that line had a very good shift out there, got some chances, just wasn't able to get it past Churiano.
This is Braun, fires one in on Jones, and Jones makes the save. Lopes deflected the puck high up in the air, lost sight of it. Picked up by Delaware behind the net. Nice touch way out in front. Redgate is right there, and he gets the shot off as the puck was loose and in the feet of two people.
Redgate was looking for that second goal. Jones waiting for that puck. Saw it was starting to trickle away and jumped right on it.
All right, face off. And Stony Brook eventually takes possession of it. Barbera loses it as Redgate comes in now. Left wing is being watched by 2 Stony Brook players. And
Sherding and Barbera do a very good job keeping Redgate off the puck, not letting him get any kind of speed or power on the shot.
Good forecheck going on here by Delaware right now. Nice play by Bokikio through the legs, down on left wing, trying to find Lopes. Lopes gets it, tries to get a shot off, but puck was a little short of where his stick was. Through the neutral zone with speed, losing the puck. Bokikio now 2-on-1 with Lopes. Bokikio to Barbera, and the shot was deflected into the corner.
Much like we saw at the beginning of the period, Lopes was coming in on the opposite side for a 3-man rush.
Redgate trying to get around Joseph, no sale. And Bokikio. That puck deflects high into the corner. And Joseph is pushed off the puck. Zucker comes and gets a shot and saved by Jones. And then Joseph takes his man to the wall. Seawolves getting the puck out. This is Brewster getting it deep. Chasing after it. Brancacchio watching him. Up the wall to Gilbert. Gilbert for the Seawolves. Back down to Brewster. Brewster with the puck. Back to the point to Coppola. Winds. Sends a shot down low. Didn't get through. Brewster sends a shot. Sails over the top of the net. Coppola tries to keep it in. He does, but Zucker's going to get it out. And here comes Ski through the neutral zone. Fires through the screen of Kavanaugh. Glove saved by Jones.
We're seeing a lot of back and forth now between the two teams where they're driving up and down the ice. We're going to look here. Chris Joseph lays a huge hit on Freeman. And Joseph trying to let everybody know where the game's at.
And he laid another big hit on another player behind the net. So he's throwing his body around today. And that's Chris Joseph's playing this game. You're going to see those body checks coming in at all sorts of different times on the ice. Kavanaugh now controls it to Sherding. Up to Kiki Coppola, but he's not able to control that pass. Here's the hit behind the net on Redgate. No, actually, not Redgate. We might have. There's a puck on his back around the wall.
Joseph really trying to throw his weight around here in this game.
Face-off won by the Seawolves. Up the wall. Fourth line trying to control the puck. They're being watched carefully by Delaware. Delaware's doing an excellent job on the forecheck today. Very tenacious on the puck, and that's really what Coach Romanello wants to see.
Last night we saw Gervaisi in this role for the Seawolves. Tonight we're seeing Bozer, as they're both very similar players in the aspect of the defensive game.
The puck is squirted out into the neutral zone, picked up by Sherding for the Seawolves. He'll fire in cross corner. Seawolves touch up. Bozer in on the forecheck, as is Haney. This is Mullen for Delaware coming out. He's railroaded by Mayano into one of the linesmen.
And Mullen's going to remember that hit when he sees the bruise marks in the morning.
Here comes Mayano's being harassed by Conti. Back to get it is Kelowna. Sends it up the wall. And the puck is kept in. No, the puck is now squirted out. Mayano gets it over to Joseph. Send it back to Mayano. Mayano up to Kottkamp, making his move as Mayano gets dumped. Joseph just tips it in. Kelowna in on for Delaware. Up the wall to Freeman. This is Kottkamp missing it. And Redgate over to Zigarelli. Zigarelli trying to get it past Joseph. Joseph controls the puck, gets it around the wall to Balzafury, but doesn't get there. Now Balzafury has a chance to get it up.
Zingarelli with a goal last night, looking to give Delaware the lead back late here in the first period.
This is Underhill for the Seawolves coming in on left wing. Drops it back, but nobody there. And now keeping it in, and then with Balzafury briefly, Zingarelli just sends it back into the Seawolves zone. This is Satola. Satola up to Underhill. Underhill with speed coming in around the net. Underhill trying to make a play. Circles back. Cross ice into the neutral area where Kottkamp was. Back to Underhill. Underhill's got Balzafury breaking and a save. Pad save. Remember that save. Now is a 2-on-1 as we got a whistle going now. The whistle gets blown with a 2-on-1. And I'm a little surprised at this. They're going to call a two-man penalty. Well, you have to go to blow the whistle because a Seawolf player is going off as well as a Delaware player.
That's going to be Satola going over on sportsmanlike.
Yeah.
And he's looking at his reaction. He's not very happy about it.
Well, if it was a Stony Brook penalty, I can understand it, but he was calling a Delaware penalty too, so there you're going to blow the whistle. But that would have been a 2-on-1 break, and right now the Seawolves doing everything they can to stay in this game. They're getting outshot 12-8. And they've really yet to kind of put any kind of momentum together right now. It's been a slow-starting team for a good part of the season, so we'll have to see if their game picks up here at all. We're down to 3:09 to go in the first, and it's a 1-1 score. Face-off to the left of Jones. Barbera on the draw for the Seawolves. Seawolves win the face-off. This is Lopes coming up with Barbera. Again, passes are not on the tape. creating these turnovers.
Those are big problems to have
Yeah,
for the Seawolves.
Winds and fires, and all the way into the rafters goes the shot. Now, this is a team, and these are two guys that have played together all year long. Tate passes have to happen.
We're going to look at the replay here, the penalty.
Satola and Delaware player.
And Zingarelli are here, and he puts a hand right in his face.
Yeah.
And that's what Zingarelli's getting called for.
Face off, one back by the Seawolves. This is Lopes. Cross-ice pass to Frank Shirting was off the mark. Now Miller decides to back off on the play and play the defense position, which was a good move there by Miller. This is Barbera coming down on left wing, trying to make a move around Brancaccio, who's played very solid today. Picked up by Lopes, drops it off, and back out into the neutral zone. It's Kavanaugh being watched by Redgate, being hacked and banged with the stick. Barbera had been out there a long time with the puck. Skating in now. He's going to keep it deep as Seawolves go for a change. Back to the point to Joseph. Over to Kavanaugh. It's 4-on-4 hockey. They got a lot of room. And Joseph fires it on. It's loose behind the net. Picked up by Barbera. Trying to control it. Oh, now Barbera's going to go, and they'll take advantage of a power play as Barbera's maybe out there a little bit too long. Shot just past Joseph. Jones wide. Joseph had a piece of it and deflected it wide. And Stony Brook will have to touch up now, and they'll get whistled down for the penalty as Barbera will go for 2 minutes. As the incidental miners have 38 seconds to go, and the power play will be for Delaware now. They'll be on a 4-on-3 power play where the Seawolves had it a 4-on-3 before and scored. Lots of open ice out there. Delaware comes out with, actually I apologize, it's 5-on-5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 players. Yeah, Delaware has to take one off, as does Stony Brook. So that's Santucci on the draw against Coppola, and the Seawolves win the draw, send it all the way down to 1:40 left to go in the first period. This is Braun through the neutral zone. Up to Ustaski. Ustaski back to Braun. Winds, fakes the shot. Back to Braun. Braun winds, fakes the shot to Ustaski. Fires, one-time shot, saved by Jones. Good low shot, but no one there for a rebound. Fired all the way down. Troiano fires it right up the wall to Ustaski. Coming down on right wing, Ustaski with the puck. Leaves it behind for Conti. Conti behind the net. 1 minute left in the period. Controlled by Skian. Skian back up to Ustaski. Back to Ustaski again. Over to Brancaccio. Can't control the pass. Picked up by... Oh, and that puck just deflected off of the blocker of Jones as it triggered. It deflected off 2 players. Ustaski's shot now gets deflected to the corner. Back to the point and out of the zone. 30 seconds left to go in the first period. Stony Brook clears the puck out. It's hit with a high stick, and we'll have a whistle and a face-off all the way down in the Delaware zone. Stick around for the end of the first period. Andy Sukoff will have a few words with Coach Rocky Romanella. So stick around for that at the end of the first period. Down for the last 20 seconds. All right, face-off won by Delaware. And through the neutral zone comes Delaware. On the man advantage, on the power play for another 28 seconds. This is Delaware coming in. Redgate. Delaware looks like they have too many men on the ice. Oh, okay, Delaware. All right, so we have the end of the first period. Delaware pulled their goaltender. That's why it looks like they had too many guys, but good play by Coach Rocky Romanella there to try to get that extra player on. So at the end of the first period, we got a 1-1 score. Shots through that first period, 15 for Delaware, 9 for the Seawolves. And we got 14 seconds left to go in the man advantage for Delaware. And the Seawolves will have to defend for 14 seconds. So we're going to kick it down to Andy Sukoff who will have Coach Rocky Romanella, who wants to talk to the referee first, I think. So, so let's have Rocky and his Rocky with Andy. Andy, take it away.
All right, thanks, Eddie. I'm down here with Coach Romanell. And Coach, what are your thoughts on the way this game has flowed in the first period?
I think we've had a really good start. We just got to keep going, stay out of the box. That's what's killing us.
And that was a pretty bold strategy with 10 seconds left to pull the goalie and put 6 men down at the other end of the ice.
Yeah, well, it was a delayed penalty, so I'm going to take advantage of it.
Oh, yeah, of course, absolutely. I actually didn't see the ref's hand up. So what are you going to look to do in the second period and beyond?
Score some more goals. We got to play better defense. No, I think our forecheck's doing well, a little bit tighter, and we just got to stay out of the box. They've got 3 power play goals this weekend and only 2 even strength. So if you look at that, it's a tie weekend.
All right, thanks, Coach. Back to you.
Thank you, Andy. Appreciate it very much. Thank you, Coach Rocky Romanello, for giving us 2 minutes. And, folks, we're going to take a little break, and we'll be back for the start of the second period. Meanwhile, you're watching Seawolves Hockey Live. And, again, if you have any questions or want to tell us anything, tweet it into us. Thanks. I don't know. Sounds good.
Aztec Photos is the action sports event photography service for Stony Brook hockey. Visit aztecphotos.com, then click on the sports link to view Stony Brook hockey galleries by year. Visit aztecphotos.com.
And welcome back to Seawolves Hockey Live, everyone. Andy Seekoff and Andy Mignani here, along with Trevor and our cameraman Brandon with us today. Thanks, Brandon, for chipping in and helping us out. Hey, listen, first period, 1-1 score, shots on goal, 15 for Delaware, 10 for the Stony Brook Seawolves. I think Delaware carried the play in that first period.
They did, and mainly one of the things that Coach Romanello said to me at the end of the period was that they got to watch the penalties, not get into the penalty box, because Stony Brook has scored 3 power play goals in this series and only 2 even strength.
Yeah, very, very true. And credit the Seawolves for capitalizing on that power play goal, or otherwise it'd be a 1-0 game, and you'd wonder when the motor would be starting to run for the Seawolves. Right now, they're running almost on empty. It seemed like at that toward the end of that first period, they had moments where the game picked up, but I'm anticipating a better second period here.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah. I mean, I do think that the Delaware team, again, teams that are on the road, they tend to be a little bit more focused. There's less distraction, and they're more able to focus on the game in hand. And I think right now they're doing that. The Seawolves, I'm not sure if all the minds and the brains are focused where they need to be. Again, remember, these are college kids we're talking about.
But at the same time, that's where you look at the players, and not even so much as the coach. You look at the players to kind of kick themselves back into gear, where one player has to go out and say, hey, this is what we need to do. We're not playing up to our best, and we need to get there.
It's when you got to have your captains of your team, and I'm sure conversations between the co-captains in the locker room happened, and we'll see how it turns out here in a second. But let's go through some of the stats.
Okay, well, like you said, 15-10, the shot total in favor of Delaware. Score is tied at 1. John Redgate scoring first from Ustaski at 16, about 3 minutes into the game. And then about a minute and a half later, Chris Joseph scored on the power play from Barbera and Bakikio. 6 minutes of penalties each in the first period, but Delaware is going to start out with a power play also in the second, as there's a delayed penalty at the end of the period for Stony Brook. So that's going to be a big kill for the Seawolves, already playing shorthanded so quickly into the start of the period. And, as Coach Romanello was talking about staying out of the box, the Seawolves need to stay out of the box as well.
Yeah, we didn't notice that there was a delayed call being made. There was still a Seawolf in the penalty box with 14 seconds left. Now, if there was a call made at the end of the period, we still have to find out what that call is, because right now there's Barbera's in the box for another 14 seconds, but we don't know who else is going in the box. Yeah. So we'll see if there's another call being made here or not, but I'm not certain if there was one made. I know Coach Romanella believed that there was a delayed penalty being called, but he pulled his goaltender anyway toward the end of the period, which I thought was a good move anyway, because they had some momentum going on, and it would be a real, an aggressive move to pull your goalie. But
But that's why they pulled the goalie, because there was a delayed penalty. Because when I brought that up to him, he had said, "Well, there was a delayed penalty, so we're going to take advantage of that."
Right, and it made sense to do that. So obviously he must have saw the ref's hand up. Again, we don't. Sometimes we won't see the referee all the time, but the coaches can have a view of the ref almost at will. So let's see what's going on here. The penalty box door is still open, so it's probably waiting for another participant.
Barbera's in there with Scrolla right now.
Who's going into the penalty box for the Seawolves for 2 minutes, and it'll be a 2-man advantage, actually, for Delaware for 14 seconds. Let's see who's going in the box. Still waiting to see who's going in. Number 7, Lizaldi, will be going in for 2 minutes. And we'll try to get the call on it if we can, but anyway, Stony Brook will have to defend 5-on-3 for 14 seconds and then kill off another minute and 56 or 46 and on a 1-man advantage. All right, taking the draw for the Seawolves is Coppola going against Zucker. And Joseph gets that face-off and sends it back up the wall. And that's our live microphone over there, folks. That's why that was so loud. Picked up by Delaware coming in. Siskian setting up now. Down to 1 second. Now it's 5-on-4. Back to the point to Braun. Fires a shot. loose puck again. Oh, Jones makes a nice save off of Zucker as that puck goes to the corner. Joseph digging hard, coming hard. Fresh ice, always better for the team on the power play.
Oh, yeah.
As they come away with the puck here, down low, this is Zucker picking it up. He's got Braun at the point. Braun picks it up, looking for a shot, puts it on, never got through. Back to Zucker, could not control. Now over to Braun, fires it again, and not getting through again, blocking it down in front of the Seawolves.
Unfortunately,
this is Zucker. Zucker shoots wide.
Unfortunately, the Seawolves aren't able to clear the puck out. They get control of the puck out the block, and then they give it right back to
Zigarelli
the
with the shot, saved by Jones, kicks to the corner. Barbera fires it all the way down. This is the period with the long chain, so the Seawolves have to be aware of that, and they all make the change. Back controlling the puck is Braun. Braun loses possession as he'll come up through the neutral zone. This is Braun, dumps it off to Zucker. He loses it. Redgate gets it back to Zucker, or back to Kelowna, sorry. And this is Mullen coming in on right wing, fires the shot. It's knocked down by Sherding. Redgate controls on the half wall, back behind to Freeman. Freeman, his pass was intercepted by Sherding, who backhands it all the way down. Seawolves doing a good job. 19 seconds left to go in the man advantage for Delaware. Puck is loose, picked up by the Seawolves. Gilbert will just fire it in on Troiano. He'll hold it for Kelowna, and now we're down to the last 5 seconds to go in the power play for the Blue Hens. This is Guerrero, left wing, all even up now. Sherding gets it for Seawolves and bounces it off the wall. Turned right back around by Delaware. Picked up in the neutral zone, trying to get a stretch pass to Kotkamp. With Sherding. Now the puck goes past. A lot of neutral zone play here right now. Picked up by the Seawolves on a turnover. Brewster bangs it in, coming in all alone on right wing, behind the net, trying to get it to Lizaldi, but back to the point to Balzafury. Sends a shot and deflected by Brewster. Lizaldi turns and fires. It hits Brewster in the leg, and Brewster's limping on that puck, on that puck that hit him in the leg. Lizaldi coming in on Redgate. Redgate fires it. Saved by Jones.
Lizaldi's a very aggressive player in the opposite zone. Looked for that shot and had a chance, but the Blue Hens defense was blocking up the slot, so they weren't able to get a quality chance here.
Brewster unfortunately took a shot right off the back of the leg. This is a save by Jones right there.
You got to make a couple good ones off the initial deflected shot.
Face off to the right of Jones. One back. And a shot right on from Procaccio, and Jones squeezed the pads together. This is Lopes trying to work it through. Could not. Procaccio with the puck. Comes in. Procaccio sends it around. Barbera controls it behind the net on the lower wall. Being watched by 2 Blue Hens, and loses it now up the wall past Balzafury. Coming hard. It's Conti on Balzafury. Backhands it up the wall to Procaccio. Cross-ice feed over to Lopes. Lopes in, all alone. Wide, shoots, he scores! In and out of the net so quick. He beat Troiano clean.
Wow, what a shot by Vin Lopes. That was a laser into the back of the net. We're going to look at it again here. Off the outlet pass from the far side. He just winds by. Troiano had no chance.
He beat him through the legs, actually. And in and out of the net that quick.
You can see the ripple of the net.
94, 22, 94, 23. Yeah.
And Vin Lopes gives Stony Brook the lead, 2-1 on a ripper. Right now, Stony Brook's getting outshot 2-1. 20-11.
But guess what? It doesn't matter when you're up 2-1.
Yep. But there's a long way to go in this game.
Yes, there is.
And the Seawolves definitely have to keep their composure, and they got to keep playing. Pick their game up. 4th line out there now. Give the Seawolves some energy. This is Modio with the puck back behind the net, being watched by Bastone, who's actually holding on to Modio. Puck is up the wall, back behind the net by Modio. Tries to get it out to Haney, but Haney's stick is now fallen out of his hands. And Coming down the left wing hard at speed is Lesenic. Shot, saved by Jones. Back up to Bastone. Winds, fires. Blocker saved by Jones. That puck was labeled.
Jones coming up huge here.
And now that
Early in
point
the
shot
second.
by number 5. We still don't know who number 5 is.
I think it's Karapi because I haven't seen number 19 on the bench.
Yeah, maybe it's Karapi wearing number 5. Number 5. And that shot was deflected over the top of the net. Jones had to be aware of that one. This is Sherding picking it up. Ryan Kotkamp gets it to Bozer, backs it in. Oh, almost picked off by Kotkamp. Joseph on a hit on Zucker. Zucker gives the puck up. This is Kotkamp again in the feet with the pass. Back to Ryan Kotkamp. Fires a shot. Choriano with the save. Loose puck. Underhill. Foot to stick. And a shot wide. Satola. Miano pinching.
Smart play by Miano there to pinch as he kept the puck in the offensive zone for an extra couple seconds.
And this puck fires all the way down. It was deflected, so there'll be no icing. And Miano sends it around the wall, but Joseph was on his side of the ice. And Joseph now comes together with Zucker. Loose puck in front. Oh, off Miano's foot and almost in the net. Tricky little play. And we'll watch that one on replay. Miano's.
Jones had to be on top of his game there to make sure that puck didn't sneak in.
Yeah, it was.
First, we're going to look at the no hold on Amodio, which, and you can see it. He basically brought him down by a horse collar.
Yeah.
And then here's the second one.
Yeah,
Miano nearly kicked it in. Jones was looking right down at it, though.
Yeah. All right. Face up to the right of Jones. Lazaldi on the draw for the Seawolves against Redgate. Won by the Seawolves. Brewster pops it out into the neutral zone. Boccaccio sends it over to Guerrero. Fires it in all the way on goal to Jones. Gilbert picks it up for the Seawolves. Trying a stretch pass to Lazaldi. Lazaldi going against Guerrero. Guerrero beats him to the puck. And then Lazaldi hits Guerrero into the boards. Gilbert with the shot right on. And a save. That was a dangerous play as Guerrero went to the wall. It looks like he's okay, but...
No, he took a very hard shot by Lazaldi.
Yeah, dangerous
We're
play
look at it
there.
again. Guerrero had his back to Lazaldi, and he just went face
Yeah,
first
I think
into the
Lazaldi.
plexiglass.
I think Lazaldi kind of pulled up at the last minute there, but I think Guerrero may have. Yeah. But the stick was still up on Guerrero from Lazaldi, but no call by the ref. So lucky for the Seawolves and lucky Guerrero is okay. Face off to the left of Choriano. Out, not out. Kept in by Coppola. Coppola chasing the puck down and banged out by Delaware. And Lazaldi chases back in the zone. This will be icing is the call.
They're going all the way back down into the Stony Brook zone.
Yes, the puck was hoisted outside the other.
That is an icing.
All right, face up to the left of Jones. That's why they wear the stripes, and we don't. Controlled by Delaware. Nice job by the Seawolves. Take that puck away. Brewster through the neutral zone. He's got Lazaldi with him. Wines fires, he scores! Sam Brewster just beat Choriano. It seems to be that's a second blast.
In the exact same spot, too, as we watch it again.
Yeah, and it was a screen shot this time because it went through the defenseman.
25, 8-3.
Coppola's going to start it out. Gets to the Brewster. Brewster basically in the same exact spot as Lopes. In between the legs. And right past Troiano.
Yep. So now the Seawolves go up by a count of 3-1 and starting to pick their game up. Shots are starting to move up a little bit as well. And Troiano, victim of 2 snipes by the Seawolves. And the second one, you can't fault him as much because it was through a screen, but those are shots that I'm sure he wants to have back. Off the wall, Lopes gets to Barbera, just out of his reach, but Lopes picks it up again. This is Lopes on right wing being watched by Penner. Cross-ice backhander did not get through. This is 3-on-2 coming in. Oh, nice play. Defensive play by Sherding again. Loose puck in front. Then Lopes getting his stick there and clearing out the puck. This is Boccaccio coming in on left wing. Cross-ice to feed to Kavanaugh. trying the back door through Barbera, but not able to connect.
Kavanaugh looking to make some contributions in his first game back from injury.
Yeah, Kavanaugh's having a better game. He looks better. Oh, look at this. Wide open on the breakaway. Slapper. Trying for another one on the slap shot. Barbera hit it wide. Picked up by Lopes. Lopes just dumps it back into the neutral zone.
We know Barbera likes the slap shot, but on a play like that where there's nobody around him, take the chance to dangle a little bit, see if you can get the goalie out of position.
All right, Barbera with the puck through the neutral zone. Passed up to Bokikio. Bokikio along with Amodio. This is Bokikio with the puck. Cross-size feed over to Miano. Deep in the zone. Miano turns, sends it back behind the net to Amodio. Makes a nice play, controls the puck. Trying to get it in front. Oh, nice play. But defended against by Delaware. Delaware through the neutral zone. Dump in, and they'll go for a change. It's Lasonic sending it in. Jones holding it up for his forward. Haney coming up through the neutral zone and dumps in. Chasing after his pass. Nobody on him. Throws it right on goal and saved by Troiano. Loose puck in front. Bozer with the opportunity and a save by Troiano. Puck is bouncing in front. Fourth line. A lot of energy in front. The Bozer shoots. And the puck, I think there's a whistle as the net comes off the moorings. Fourth line.
This fourth line has been unbelievable tonight. Haney, Amodio, and Bozer getting some quality chances. They nearly put one past Troiano there. And we saw this yesterday, too. As here's Bozer's shot right before the net came off the moorings. He had nobody in front of him.
Face off to the left of Troiano. Back to the point to Joseph. Over to Miano. Miano loses the handle on it, but backhands it in behind the net. This is Haney back there. Braun sends it to the corner. Joseph pinches to Stony Brook. Down to Braun. Braun sends it around the wall. Picked up by Ustaski. As Miano picks it off, sends it back in. That play is offsides.
Haney hadn't gotten back on side yet and touched the puck up.
Seawolves picking up their game.
They're playing with a lot of energy this period, and we've seen them really take it to Delaware. They're getting, like we saw in the second period last night, that's when they really took control and got past the Delaware defense. And that's going to be something that I'm sure Coach Garofalo noted when watching last night's film.
All right, face-off outside the Stony Brook zone. This is Satola on the draw, and as Santucci got tossed, and Delaware controls the puck on the face-off. Back to the neutral zone. Santucci gets his pocket picked by Underhill, picked up by Mullen, and fires all the way in behind the Stony Brook net. Jones will fire around the wall, trying to get it to Kotkamp. He's being watched by Ustaski. Picked up by Bowser Fury. Fires high off the wall, but it'll go out of the rink. Face-off will be in the Seawolf zone.
Now we're starting to see some temperance play between Underhill and Mullen. And the refs break it up quickly so things don't escalate.
10:55 left to go in the second period. Thanks for tuning in today and watching the Stony Brook Seawolves. Shout out to Rob Longobardi down in Florida watching the game. Hope you're enjoying it. And this is Satola, 2-on-1 with Kotkamp. Satola took too long to take the shot. He was trying to get it over to Kotkamp, but Kotkamp was being watched.
I know the 3-on-1 Underhill was right behind him as well.
Yep.
So Satola had options, took the first option he saw.
Trying to give and go with Skian going to the net. Puck is loose. Puck is still loose in front of the Stony Brook net. Now it's picked up by Underhill. And he tosses it to Kotkamp, crossed over to Satola. Hits off his skate into the zone. Kelowna back there with Satola. A couple of fouls. And Underhill blasted high over the top of the net. And we're going to have a penalty here on Delaware as a slash.
And here comes Jones off the bench. And it's going to be Barbera keeping the puck in as the extra attacker.
Picked up by Kotkamp. Kotkamp trying to make a move. Gets it back to Satola. Over to Underhill. To Barbera and floats it right on net. As Bowser Fury went to the net. Now he's in the net. Temper's flaring a little bit here.
We saw this yesterday too.
Yep. And we may have a little bit more than
Gilbert getting some punches thrown at him.
Yeah. Kelowna just losing his cool here a little bit.
I'm sure some of these guys are going to hear from the ACHA tomorrow. Gilbert's starting to retaliate. He's starting to throw some back as well. He is not happy about it either.
Again, all comes from a harmless play, just a loose puck and the tensions and the. Yeah. We're going to get the calls. Stony Brook will probably have a power play from the initial call, but there'll probably be an additional penalty, maybe one or two. We'll see how they call it.
Let's see. Gilbert's in the box for Stony Brook, and Cologne is in for Delaware.
Yeah, Cologne is in for Delaware. Gilbert's in for Stony Brook.
Plus, there was the initial penalty as well.
Yes, the initial call. I mean, that has to be still called. And the trainer's been called in for Delaware. Someone on the bench who needs the trainer, so we'll have to see hope everything's okay down there. All right, we'll get the calls from the referee.
And now they're trying to hash it all out.
Yeah. Maybe double-minded for roughing.
And now I see why they need the trainer. Zucker took a good shot, and he's bleeding pretty heavy from the nose.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Zucker. Maybe, I'm not sure if he got punched or. Gilbert's going to get the gate.
I mean, he said I would have to assume Cologne is going to get tossed as well.
Cologne is going to go. So Gilbert and Cologne both will get the gates, and then we'll have to see what else is called, because there was an original minor.
We're also taking a very long time with this one to make sure they have everything cleared up.
No.
This is taking a normally long time to get something like this hashed out. It really all started, like you said, with a very simple play that then escalated into chaos.
Yeah.
Right
Well,
now,
for those of you who might not be watching the football game, it looks like the Green Bay Packers are still winning 16-0 in the third quarter.
yeah, we're looking at here. The ref had his hand up.
Yeah, and this is a harmless play. Bowser Fury makes the extra move there to the glove, and that's what causes the. Yeah, now let's see what happened. Let's see what happened. Let's see what happened to what's his name, 28.
There's Zucker there. He gets taken down by Underhill, and that's what knocked him. He got hit right into the ice without a helmet, so he took a shot.
He hit face first? Did he go face first, really?
Yeah, because here Underhill has him in a headlock here, and then the helmet gets ripped off. I think his head.
Oh, his helmet did it. That's what happened. His helmet.
Yeah, and then it looks like he also might have taken a shot off of Underhill's knee as well. And then now we see here on the other side, here's Gilbert and Colonna.
Yeah. And that was really it. Other than that,
and Colonna throws the first punch.
Yeah, the original call that was being called is not up on the board. So it's just going to be a roughing penalties.
And they did put looks like Stony Brook put Haney in the box.
And Bowser Fury is in the box.
Bowser Fury. I think we're finally getting everything hashed out here.
Yeah, we just got to hope. I mean, there's a lot of hockey to be played here left. We still have 4:57 to go. Yeah, 4-4, so there's really no man advantage right now.
Yeah, we're still halfway through this period. There's 9.5 minutes left to go.
Oh, actually, yeah, 9.5. So a lot of time to go in this game still. So Lopes with a nice pass to. Oh, I didn't even need to call that one, folks. That was just too pretty to watch. Lopes with a cross-size feed over to Barbera, who buries it high on Troiano. And 4-on-4 goal is the Seawolves. When you got Kavanaugh and Joseph, Lopes and Barbera.
Yeah, Troiano's been very weak there.
Yeah,
so
his left side.
The Seawolves are exposing that, and they're taking advantage.
Yep. So this is Barbera now. Still 4-on-4 action. Using that size and speed. Here comes Barbera. Loses the handle on the puck. And gets it to Lopes. Lopes still controlling it. Back to the point to Shirting. Fakes the shot. Trying to look for a better opportunity. Lopes with the deflection in front. And Troiano pounces on the puck. Seawolves are picking up their game. Finding a way to get themselves going and getting a couple of extra goals along the way, leading this one 4-1. Face off to the left, Troiano. Kotkamp to the point, out of the range of Shirting. Coming hard is Freeman. But Shirting does a great job to get the puck to Satola. To Kotkamp. Oh, just off the stick.
Kotkamp had a wide open net if he would have had that on his stick.
He was shooting before he had it. Back around the net and picked up by Ustaski. And his pass comes right back to him. Kotkamp was right there looking to peel it away. And it's sent in by Freeman. He's knocked down by Miano. Miano controls the puck for the Seawolves. Sends it up the wall to Satola, just past Satola.
Right now we're down to the last 30 seconds of 4-on-4 action here. And Stony Brook is really taking control in this period.
Satola trying to get it down to Kotkamp again, but good defensive play by Guerrero, not letting that happen. Satola in on the forecheck, hits Guerrero. High, we're going to have a penalty on Satola for a high hit. And Jones will hold it up. And Satola is going to go for two. As his hands came up high, and you hit somebody up in the face, you're going to get called. And Delaware will go on the power play. It'll be 4-on-3 again. For another 13 seconds, and then it'll be a 5-on-4 for the remainder of the Satola penalty. Face off to the right of Jones. Ustaski on the draw for Delaware against Capola, and Capola wins it. Capola loses his stick up the wall, picked up by Zwil. Ski-hand shot blocked by Miller. Good job by Miller blocking that shot. Braun over to Zigarelli. Zigarelli's pass across did not get through on the stick by Joseph. Picked up by Miller. And the Seawolves. Zigarelli took a tumble with Brewster right on him. Joseph with a big hit. Take Zucker off the puck, back behind the blue hen net. This is Ski-hand skating up. And his pass off a skate back into the zone on the forecheck for the Seawolves. A man down is Capola. Now up to the neutral zone with 5-on-4. Miller will fire it not all the way down. It hit a blue hen player, but Joseph will fire it down. Troiano tries to get it around the wall, but it flubbed it, but picked up by Ski-hand through the neutral zone. Drop pass. Zucker fires it wide. Brancaccio sends it back behind the net to Zucker. Zucker coming up the wall, watched by Joseph. And pass Brancaccio all the way down. 35 seconds left to go in the man advantage for the Blue Hens. The Eagles have done an excellent job on the PK this weekend.
Their penalty kill has been suffocating today. They've not let Delaware get anything in terms of a quality chance.
Oh, another save there by Jones. That puck is fired all the way out. That was an excellent chance for Delaware there, and Jones rose to the task of stopping that shot. And we're down to the last 7 seconds of the man advantage. The puck's fired into the Seawolf zone, picked up by Sherding, and we're all even up. Redgate stops it, sends it to the net. Jones makes the save, picked up by Sherding. To Lizaldi. Lizaldi hit into the wall. He's playing the neutral zone now as it's dumped into the Delaware zone. Chasing it down is Underhill. Voids the check from Guerrero. Back up the wall. Controlled by Conti. And his pass goes awry. Chasing it down is Brancaccio. Is being watched by Bozer. Conti with the shot and a save by Jones. Down to 5:27 left to go. In the second period, the Seawolves up by a score of 4-1, and the shots right now, 22 for Delaware, 18 for the Seawolves.
I've got it at 25-18 right now, which is, Brendan Jones had a really fantastic game. He's made 24-25, and he's been a brick wall in net.
All right. Puck behind the net. Conti goes for it for Delaware, but picked up by Haney. Haney racing up through the neutral zone, loses the handle on it. Picked up by Miller. Miller will try to get it through. This is picked up by Braun now for Delaware. Watched by Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh runs him to the ball.
And now we'll see Kavanaugh get some more minutes now that Gilbert's out of the game.
Absolutely. Picked up by Bozer to Modio. Shot. Oh, and Bozer just missed the rebound. Kavanaugh was going to come off, but decided to stay on. A good move because the puck quickly transitioned out. Big Haney now fires it around here. He gets dumped. Picked up by Bozer. Saucer pass out to Modio. Now that he will go for changes. Modio wasn't on the forecheck. Looks like 18's going to go for Delaware. No, he's the one that got hit, I think. And the ref's calling 8.
And he's not happy.
Penner. Penner's going to get another penalty for throwing a stick.
Minor, check mine.
Throw a stick.
Plus misconduct.
Can't throw your stick.
Yep.
Check mine.
Didn't see the penalty, so I don't. Must have happened behind the play, but Penner's going to take 2 for a check from behind, and then he's got a misconduct, so he'll be done for the rest of this period. On the draw against Skehan. Skehan wins the draw. And Stony Brook keeps the puck in the zone. Stony Brook has done well on the power play. Nice job there by Barbera, faking the shot and getting it to Lopes, scooting in. Barbera with the puck down to Bokikio, back up to Barbera, back over to Kavanaugh, back to Bokikio, back to the middle. Lopes fires it high over the top of the net. The key of this power play right now for the Seawolves is Barbera. He seems to be the quarterback for the Seawolves on this power play. Down low to Bokikio. Bokikio trying to make a play. Could not make it. Now back up to Kavanaugh at the point. Back to Barbera's wide open. Low shot. Oh, trying to get Bokikio seeking in the back door.
And Bokikio had an open net there.
He
Toronto
sure did.
was out of position.
Yeah, he sure did. He just couldn't finish that play. Stony Brook changes up, and they put their second unit on, which is not too shabby neither. Ryan Kottkamp, Satola. Barbera's still out there. Redgate. And Barbera takes the puck away after slashing the stick out of Redgate's hands. This is Satola breaking in, and he's hit from behind and knocked down. He's fired all the way down. And Satola's wondering why there was no call made, but the Seawolves got away with a slash.
Yeah, they did.
So this is Satola trying to make a move, and he was watched. Back to Satola now. Coming in, he's got Kottkamp right there. Oh, nice defensive play by Brancaccio coming back. Shot over the top of the net. Down to the last 10 seconds of the power play, and that's off the moorings.
This is what they called Penner on initially. So now we're looking here. He gets the initial shot, then he hits from behind.
Yeah,
That's a soft call.
the reason it's a soft call when you're watching it, but depending on where the referees when he made the call, he was behind the play. Had he seen the play from our angle, he probably wouldn't have made the call because he was behind the
Yeah, because he was coming around from the back end. So the ref on that side would have.
All right, face-off won by Delaware, but down to the last 5 seconds. So the Seawolves did not capitalize on that soft call as we're all even up. This is Brewster losing a handle on it, trying to get it back to Lizaldi. And now in the neutral zone, picked up by Sherding. And Sherding bumped in by Coppola. Brewster back to get it. Nice quick pass to Lizaldi. Could not finish. Skorapi coming through the neutral zone with speed. Oh, and just fanned on the shot. Now his shot deflected to the corner. This is Brewster controls it for the Seawolves. Gets it back. Shot from the point. Saved by Jones. And the puck is chipped out. Stick around at the end of this second period as Andy Seekoff will have a few words with Coach Garofalo. Right now the Seawolves have really closed the gap on the shots, 24-21 right now. And up by 3 goals.
Aztec Photos is the action sports event photography service for Stony Brook hockey. Visit aztecphotos.com, then click on the sports link to view Stony Brook hockey galleries by year. Visit aztecphotos.com.
And welcome back to Seawolves Hockey Live, everyone. Andy Bignani along with Andy Sukoff. And got a 4-1 game, third period. Shots on goal, 24 for Delaware, 21 for the Seawolves. And I expected the Seawolves to pick their game up in the second period, and I think we saw that.
Yeah, they've scored 4 unanswered goals, 3 in that period. Scored 2 in the span of 3 minutes. The first one from Lopes, and the second by Brewster, getting assisted by Coppola and Bowser Fury. And a few minutes later, Barbera scored on the power play from Lopes. So Lopes having a pretty good day for himself.
Absolutely.
And that also came after a big, I guess, just a big chaotic scene that initially started off as one simple penalty for Delaware. And
yeah, and again,
it devolved into...
It could have been worse because there were definitely some fists being thrown there, and gloves were off, and one of the Delaware players got face got cut up pretty well, but hopefully he's okay. And it's interesting. I was down in the common area of the rink and was talking with an ex-Stony Brook player. Mentioned to me that he was in the area, stopped in, wanted to see the game, and he just graduated, I think, last year or the year before. And
who was it?
Brian Alfont. And he mentioned that he said it's amazing how there are 4 lines and they all play, like this tremendous depth. He said, and I said, yeah, there really is tremendous depth. And I said, this is the case with most of the teams now that are coming up, and you can contribute that to the youth hockey organizations around the country. All right. All the kids that are playing and all the coaches that are, giving their time and teaching kids how to play hockey, and parents learning at a very early age that kids have to learn how to skate. That this game is all about skating. Never mind how hard you can hit the puck or how tall your kid is or how small your kid is. It doesn't matter. It's how well you skate.
Yeah, if you keep falling on the ice, you're not going to be any good.
You look at every player that's on this ice, everyone's skill level is almost as equal. Take their skates off, they can do whatever. They can shoot, they can pass, they can do everything. It's all about skating. All right. So face-off won by the Seawolves as we begin the third period. And picked up by Joseph over to Kavanaugh through the neutral zone and dumped into the Seawolves zone. Joseph rides his man to the board. That's Bastone. He'll dump it back to Coruppi. And now coming back to help on the forecheck, number 25. I didn't call his name almost all game. This is Bokiki on the backhander. Skids it right past Troiano. And that was Torrey helping on that back check. I haven't called his name much today. Picking the puck up is Lopes. And now we have the net still off the mooring, I believe, or we have a call being made here. Net's still off, and that's...
This is a big period here for Stony Brook. They had the 3-goal lead, and we saw this yesterday at the end of the second period where they had a 4-1 lead against Delaware, and they gave the goal right at the end of the period, and that kind of set the tone for what the third period wound up being.
All right, face-off, won by the Seawolves. Shirting, winds, fires, deflected on goal, and saved by Troiano. Oh, down in front, Brewster really creating that screen, and now the net's really pushed off the moorings. As Brewster was set up in front of the net, came together with Choriano, and they bumped the net off the post supports. Faceoff will be in the Delaware zone to the right of Choriano. And Coppola on the draw going up against Santucci. Fired out to the neutral zone. Picked up by Balzafury. And fires it back into the Delaware zone. It'll be an icing because Balzafury was on the opposite side of the red line.
And this has been, we've had a lot of stoppages here in the first minute and 10 seconds. So in the second period, we saw a lot of game flow until about the middle of the period when everything just grinded to a halt so that they could get everything hashed out.
I think Balzafury said he thought he was closer to the line, but face-off won by Delaware. Fired to the net, kicked to the corner. Shirting was making sure he fired it up. This is Lizaldi skating in, trying to avoid the icing call, but they'll take another icing call here.
Now we're seeing a lot of this happening. So now what they have to do is they gotta get a clear into the neutral zone so they can get a change. Because this line's been out there for a little bit and have had to deal with 2 icings now.
Right. Zucker on the draw against Lizaldi. And somebody that was Lasanic who got knocked down at the Kislev circle. Face off again. Now Coppola in on the draw for the Seawolves. Shirting has it on the half wall. Gets it up to Coppola. Coppola now gets it from Brewster. And still loose in the neutral zone. Picked back up by Delaware. This is Guerrero. Loses on not a poke check, but he just tripped over the puck. Coppola trying to get one to the net to Lizaldi, was there by himself. Puck's flopping up in the air. Balzafury winds and fires over the top of the net.
Balzafury had a good look right in the slot.
Shirting is sandwiched. Puck is loose now, coming in. Oh, nice play. Zucker all alone on that pass from
And he just whiffed
from
on
Pate,
the shot.
and he actually, what happened was Shirting actually skated back there and got a little piece of the puck, and it wasn't a clean pass. It was a good look by Pate because a 2-on-1 occurred again by a turnover in that neutral zone area. Jones has got a strap issue with his pad. He's addressing that right now, and he seems to be okay. Faceoff will be to the left of Jones. Redgate will be on the draw. He'll go against Satola. Faceoff won by Delaware. Fires from the point. It was Braun, and it was wide. Puck is loose. Knocked down by Kottkamp. Fires around to Miano. Miano up the wall to Underhill. And Siebel's unable to get anything going right now offensively, but that could change in a minute. As Joseph fires in the Delaware zone. Satola in on the forecheck, knocks Braun off the puck. Back up the wall. Miano trying to keep it in, but it's punched back out into the Stony Brook end, picked up by Joseph. It's chased down by Zigarelli. Joseph up the wall, skates it not out. Now Joseph's pulled down, no call there. This is Satola. He's got Underhill breaking through the middle. Watched by 3 Delaware hens, 2 hens. Oh, now
Underhill took a huge
Underhill
shot. He's still down.
Yeah, Underhill got hit hard into the ball, and he's really getting slow coming up. Yeah, he's not coming up at all.
Yeah, his head was driven straight into the glass.
And the referee's just not going to make, didn't blow the whistle when because the Seawolves didn't have possession of the puck. Underhill's really labored. He can't get up.
Yeah, he's having a lot of trouble there.
So
Trainers
the referee's got to stand. Referee has to watch what's going on the play down here because things are starting to get a little out of hand again.
Yeah, this is where a team might go and retaliate after a hit like that.
We'll have to see the hit on the replay. Underhill seems to really be having a problem getting up. I mean, it's almost to the point where he's seriously hurt.
He took a hit from behind. There was no way he could have stopped himself, and there was no way he could have defended himself. And you saw his head hit along the bottom edge of the glass here. And it was just a very rough shot that he took.
Yeah.
And those are the hits you really don't want to see.
Yeah, he's holding his head, so it must have been some kind of a headshot or something.
So we're gonna look at it again.
Watch the play again. Underhill coming.
This is Skihan here. Skihan was coming in behind him. And Underhill is still down. But he does seem to be responsive, so that's a good sign. So now, but like I just said before, this is where you could potentially see ramifications and retaliation for a hit like that.
Now, Underhill's. We're still watching some of the replay. This is actually going to happen after this play goes back into the zone. But there is a call being made on the ice for a penalty. Looks like number 5 for Delaware is going to go in the box. I'm not sure whether or not.
So here it is now.
Right now.
He gets behind Skihan. He's going to go into the corner. And Underhill is up.
Yeah, it was a classic. It's a hit into the wall. I mean, maybe Underhill wasn't expecting to get the hit, but didn't brace himself appropriately. I don't know. But it wasn't the most vicious hit I've ever seen from behind. But I think he was not expecting it, and I think that's the whole thing. And Underhill definitely has a. We'll watch it in full speed here. And he got crunched into the wall. His head definitely hit into the glass. And he's dazed. There's no doubt about it. So we have someone in the box for Delaware. We actually have 2 players in the box for Delaware. Yeah, we have a misconduct call. As Underhill will go back to the locker room and have the trainer look at him.
Now Coach Garofalo playing 2 men down with Gilbert being ejected earlier in the game, and now Underhill out for injury.
Yeah, the only saving grace there is that this is the 3rd period, even though it's early. But if it had happened earlier in the game, it'd be much tougher because this has been a physical game. Stony Brook just needs to keep their heads and play smart here.
They can't stoop down to a level where they take a cheap shot as vengeance.
There it is. Sam Brewster puts the puck in the net, and that's the way you answer it.
Yeah, he did it very quickly, too. That's his 2nd goal of the game on the wraparound.
And
that's what you like to see.
And that's how you answer the call. You put the point on the board.
25-52.
So Cavanaugh's going to get credit for an assist, as Barbera should as well. It gets knocked off the back of the board. It's going to be taken by Brewster, and Brewster's just going to put it right past Troiano. And they did that 8 seconds after.
6:53 left to go in the Green Bay Packer game, if anyone's interested. Packers up by the score of 19-7. 6:53. Shot right on goal, saved by Troiano. And controlled by Kavanaugh. Over to Miller. Up to Barbera through the neutral zone. 3-on-2, 4-on-2. Drop pass for Lopes. Back to the point to Miller. Fires a low shot, deflected a couple of times. Never got to the net. Lokikio with a body check on the wall on Mullen. This is Lopes with speed through the neutral zone. Into Bokikio to Barbera. Shoots! Saved by Troiano. And he's got it between the pads.
I think Barbera waited a little bit too long to take that shot. He had some open space.
I thought he was going to go back to Lopes, who was
I think he might have been looking there
for a short period. For a second, Lopes was there, but nice puck movement by that line.
the bunk movement today has been much better for the Seawolves. And that's something you want to see going forward, especially going on the road next week to play Arizona State and U of A.
Yeah. Fourth line on for the Seawolves. Bowser Fury back to Shirting. He's got Boza breaking up the middle. And back into the Seawolves zone. Jones will hold it up for Bowser Fury. The wall. Trying to get it to Bozer. Picked up by Ustaski. Ustaski over to Redgate. Redgate loses the handle. Coming hard on the forecheck is Bozer. Haney is deep. He got him and Guerrero at it. Up the wall. This is Freeman down right wing. Stopped by Shirting. Out into the neutral zone. Picked up by Amodio. Swings it across to Haney. Haney fires it down. It's going to be an icing. We have a delayed penalty call being made here. Elbowing. Redgate, looks like Redgate will get a 2-minute elbowing call. The Seawolves will go back on the power play. Oh, they got a Seawolf going in too.
32, minor elbow. 16, minor unsportsmanlike. 4-4.
It'll be coincidental minors.
What do you give 16? Minor unsportsmanlike. Okay.
Unsportsmanlike penalty to Modio, number 16 for the Seawolves. Is the second penalty. All right. And elbowing is the call on Delaware. Face off to the left of Triano. 4-on-4 hockey. We played a lot of that today.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of open ice out there with 4-on-4s, 4-on-3s, 5-on-3s.
Shot saved by Jones. Good low shot by Santucci.
I think the only thing we haven't seen yet today is 3-on-3. That'd be interesting to see.
Face off to the right of Jones. And Sotolo will take it for the Seawolves. Santucci wins it for Delaware. Back to Brancaccio. Oh, his stick shatters on the shot. Joseph. Big heavy check along the wall. Picks the puck up now. Coming in 3-on-2. Seawolves attacking 3-on-2. Back to Joseph. Joseph, oh, trying to swing it back to Kotkamp.
Swung it a little bit too wide as Kotkamp didn't have the angle.
This is Santucci coming in on Kavanaugh. Joseph right behind him, not allowing him to get the shot off. He shot it wide. Ooh, and Sotolo just got run into from behind. And that's going to cause, that is going to be a major problem right now because that was a totally avoidable check. But it's a payback nonetheless.
Sotolo took a huge hit from behind.
Yeah.
And Kotkamp went and knocked. Kotkamp went and defended his teammate, and he's going to be sent to the box.
Yeah.
So things are really unraveling here. This is not what you want to see late in the game or really at any point where
13's got a minor.
teams are starting to take cheap shots at each other.
And 13's going to have 13 white's going to have a minor for cross check, and 13 blue's going to have a minor for check mine.
So it's the calls are made. The right calls are made. The penalty is going to be 13 to Delaware for the hit from behind, and Ryan Kotkamp's going to get one for defending his teammate. So which is a natural penalty that players will take. So we'll still be 4-on-4. Two more coincidental minors going up on the board. That's a hit from behind.
No, he got hit very hard.
That was a hit from behind. That's all that was.
And now you see Kotkamp come make the play.
Usually, a player's not going to make that kind of check on someone. They're going to just control the movements. The player from Delaware just decided to make a check, and then Kotkamp stepped in and took the penalty as a retaliatory penalty.
Man,
Needless to say, both coaching staffs don't seem to be pretty happy right now.
No.
And, you know,
well, if I was a coach, I wouldn't be
we
happy
just want to
either.
get this game done.
Especially when the two teams combined have 44 penalty minutes.
We got a 5-1 score, and this could escalate. So we want to try to get the game going, keep the play moving.
Yeah, because the more that the clock stops,
I mean,
the more you're going to
Stony
see
Brook
tempers boil.
Stony Brook's going on the road next week. They're going out west to play out in Arizona for 3 games. You know, I'm sure they don't want to be having to leave anybody behind.
No, I'm sure not.
All right, face-off will be outside the Stony Brook zone. So Lizaldi on the draw. Fired in. Good play by Kavanaugh, using that reach. This is Joseph over to Kavanaugh. Back to Joseph, coming out of the zone. Big hit. Joseph lays the lumber. And his Brewster with almost an opportunity. Braun tried to hit. Braun tried to get Joseph, and he got the worst end of that one.
Yeah, Joseph's not going to take.
He saw that coming, and Joseph leaned into him and put his shoulder. This is Braun over to Ustaski. Fires wide into the corner. Mullen is hit by Joseph. Joseph picks the puck up behind the net and assesses the situation. And will come up the ice. Pass over to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh through the neutral zone. As Lizaldi was hit.
Lizaldi gets hit without a stick and gets hit not once but twice.
Yeah.
Things are really just completely
Stony Brook
going
just dumps in
downwards.
and goes for a change. Delaware's just trying to send a message, but it's a little late in the game to be doing that because they don't want to be in the box anymore because all Stony Brook has been able to do is score on the power play, at least effectively. Not all the time, but when they needed to. Puck back in the Delaware zone, picked up by Skihan. Sets up behind the net, watched by Lopes. And through the neutral zone. This is Redgate coming down. Poke check by Sherding, trying to do too much. Through the neutral zone, and icing is waved off as Brancaccio just let it go by. Trying to draw the icing. Stepping in is Barbera. Beating his check, coming to the net. Barbera makes a move as Delaware player went down. Brancaccio with the puck. Over to Sherding. Sherding walking in, fires! Knocked down by Brancaccio. Good defensive play by Brancaccio, getting in the way of that shot. Barbera controlling the puck, using his size. Oh, nice opportunity for a touch pass. Backdoor opportunity, did not go. There's Lopes.
What we're seeing in this
close.
period and in most of this game, Stony Brook has been much stronger on the puck today than Delaware has. And right now we got a dangerous situation. There are 2 loose sticks out there.
Stony Brook controlling the play right now in the Delaware zone. And Barbera using that size again and just picked up by Gaza Fury. And that line goes for a change. Now they're able to keep the puck in the zone and go for a line change.
Well, that's a change that they needed to get, but Kikyo had been on for a very long time.
Haney throws it right back in. Delaware trying to get the puck deep in the Stony Brook zone, and Stony Brook rising to the occasion and the task of getting the puck in Delaware zone and making them come the full distance. Now here comes Redgate through the neutral zone on Joseph. Fires, saved by Jones. Actually, I apologize, it wasn't Redgate. It was number 17, Lasanic.
And Joseph got a little overzealous at the end of the play and checked Lasanic pretty hard after the whistle. We're going to look at it again here.
Yeah.
44 is going to have a minor rough.
He's going to go off for roughing.
Yeah.
The play was gone. The play was gone. 44 minor rough. Yep.
And face off over to the right of Jones. And outside now, the puck squirted past Ustaski in the neutral zone. This is Lizaldi controlling it for the Seawolves. Making a move around Skihan. Watched by Freeman. Pushed down by Freeman. Loose puck here. Trying to get it to Miano. And rubbed out of Santucci by Miano.
The Blue Hens just dumping it down so they can get a change. But the Stony Brook penalty kill has been rock solid tonight. They haven't really let Delaware do anything in the offensive zone.
Yeah, I think Troiano thought that was an icing goal. I didn't really realize his team was on the power play. He had his glove up in the air. This is Garag will control it for the. He's run into by Shirting. It's now Seawolves laying the lumber, laying the hurt. Big hit in the corner down low. Freeman on Capola. This game is getting really, really tough. Kavanaugh now going at it with
Freeman.
Freeman now doing the old diver Rooney.
He must think he's LeBron James.
Yeah, Capola's gonna go and Freeman's gonna go.
Yeah, I have to think that the scorekeeper's got to be running out of numbers on the penalty.
7's going to have a minor for a cross check. That's on blue. 8's going to have a minor for a rough.
Another coincidental minor. Seawolves have to kill off Joseph's penalty. Another 52 seconds.
Okay.
And this game just goes on.
Right now, you're looking at it where Stony Brook has to throw around some weight because they don't want to come across as a team that's going to
update on the Packers Seahawks game. 19-13. 2:52, and the Seahawks have the ball.
That's going to be a very
face
exciting
off
finish.
to the right of Jones. Delaware still on the man advantage for another 43. Back to the point. Brancaccio to Redgate. Redgate down low. To Zucker, back to the point. To Brancaccio, back down to Redgate. Redgate back down to Zucker. And Zucker's pinned to the wall by Frank Shirting, who's been plays outstanding defense this whole weekend.
Well,
Bozer Bozer was trying to get it to Brewster as he was breaking to the net all alone. Short-handed opportunity for the Seawolves.
They had the chance for a 2-on-1, and Bozer just wasn't able to hang on to it.
6 seconds left to go in the man advantage. Picked up by, all even up now into the neutral zone. Picked up by Brancaccio, watched by Bociccio. For those of you that think they're different players, they're all the same. I just say it differently on occasion. Nice play here by Delaware, getting in, backhander, saved by Jones. Karapi was really nailed to the wall by Miano.
And then Lescatic nearly had a shot right in the slot when Jones took him down to position.
Yep, we got some more going. There's 2 more penalties being called. Delaware's getting an unsportsmanlike penalty. 5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes.
And the penalties just keep on racking up.
Yep. Face-off be in the Delaware zone. And yes, this game did start on a Sunday. All right, face-off to the right of Triano. Bociccio on the draw for the Seawolves. Back to the point to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh controlling the puck to Barbera. Back to Kavanaugh. Over to Kavanaugh. Nice flip pass over to Lopes. Lopes sends one down low. And it'll be fired all the way down into the Seawolves zone. Kavanaugh back to get it for the Seawolves. Quick move around 2 defenders pinching in. So now the Seawolves have got a 4-on-2 coming in. Loose puck up the wall to Brewster. Brewster down the half wall to Barbera. Barbera back up to Lopes. Lopes takes the shot down to Barbera. Barbera across to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh holds the puck. Down low to Bokikio. Bokikio walks in. Pass, shot. Saved by Troiano, hold.
And the Seawolves still being very aggressive on the power play. Looking to get another one past Troiano. We're halfway through here.
With that whistle, Capola was able to come out of the box. With 1 minute to go on the man advantage for the Seawolves.
I don't think I've seen a game like this in a long time. There's 48 penalty minutes on the board, and probably actually more. So I'm thinking we're probably close to 50 or 54.
No, we've seen games like that here before.
I can't even think of the last game I saw like this. I think it might have been a D2 Arizona State game.
All right, face off to the left of Troiano. And Kotkamp trying to win it around him. And puck goes to the corner. As they battle. Loose puck. Squirts loose. Capola. Oh, here's a breakaway opportunity for Redgate. Actually, it's not Redgate. I apologize.
Laskanik was on that one, but
Laskanik.
Joseph playing some excellent defense, knocking him off the puck.
I think Laskanik is going to see Joseph in his dreams tonight. I hate to say it. Satola to Balza Fury. Back down to Satola. Back around to Kotkamp. Kotkamp controls it. Still has it. Make a nice move. Walks in. Shoots. Save. Troiano off the glove.
Nice save there by Troiano. He just knocked it away.
Kotkamp going top corner, glove side. Troiano got his glove up there. Picked up by Balza Fury. Power play almost over. Last 5 seconds. Back behind to Satola. Balza Fury picks off that pass. Fires it back in as the Seawolves change.
We're down under 6 minutes here, and this third period feels like it's been taking forever.
And this puck just squirts past Biano. Picked up by Miano. Drops it to Shirting. Touch pass off the wall to Bozer. To Haney. He's got Modio with him. Oh, Haney didn't see Modio, but he was all there by himself. And then by the time he went to get the pass, it was defended against. Haney with the puck. Bozer fires a shot. Just whizzes wide. Back out in the neutral zone, picked up by Miano. We're down to 5:15 left to go in the third period. Stony Brook up by a score of 5-1. Picked up by Haney, takes the shot. Saved by Troiano.
And this is going to be a long ride home for Delaware. They gotta get back there, and they're going to be thinking about this game, and where they let this game get away from them midway through the first period.
All right, face off to the left of Troiano. Won by Seawolves, picked up by Barbera. Controls the puck, throws one across, trying to get Kavanaugh, break it to the net. And this puck swung all the way across. Back to get it is Miller, fires it up the wall. Back into the neutral zone. Controlled by Mullen for Delaware. He fires in behind the net, stopped by Jones. Jones sends it up to Barbera. Barbera was checked into the wall, and whoever checked him went down. Not surprised. Nick's a big kid.
Yeah, Nick Barbera is a big player out there. He's hard to knock off a puck or
fired right on goal. That actually didn't get through. We're going to have another penalty here as Mullen will be guilty of the cross-check. And you got to credit the referee. He's making the calls. He's not letting them get away with it.
So it's going to be Mullen going off. And yet another power play for the Seawolves with 4:18 to go.
We have another person going in the box.
Zucker's going off
Zucker's
as well.
going off as well. So Zucker's got a misconduct. He'll be done for the rest of the game. And Seawolves just need to close out this last 4 minutes and 18 seconds. Nurse the wounds to get ready for next week's trip. Face off to the right of Troiano. Got a pro. All right, back to the point. Bowser Fury. Over to Satola. Bowser Fury, rip shot. Well, I'm not sure if it got through to Troiano, but puck's in front. Now back to the point to Bowser Fury again. Oh, and now he loses the handle. Here comes Redgate on Jones, and he misses.
That's inexcusable. You can't miss that. Not when you're right in front of the net.
Bowser Fury just ran into Redgate. Yeah. Redgate all alone.
Here's Redgate
coming
on the
in.
breakaway. Looks like he made one move too many and just shot it wide.
Face-off would back in the Seawolf zone. Face-off to the right of Jones. Going back into the Seawolf zone. This is Joseph back to get it. And Bokikio. To Kavanaugh, who's tripped over that blue line. Some of the players have tripped over that blue line today. But the ice is a little chippy right now, so. Catch. This is Redgate. Nice job getting the puck in deep. Still controlling it. Now picked up by the Seawolves. This is Lopes. Nice pass to Bokikio. Break it in. Bokikio to the net. Shoots. Save. They're going to have another penalty. This could actually be a penalty shot, but they're going to call just a regular penalty on it because I don't know if he got the shot off, but he was unabated to the net.
And we're going to look at it here. Here's the breakout. Lopes getting up for Bokikio. Bokikio splits the fence. And he's going to get brought down. He didn't really get the shot off as he got brought down by Ustaski.
94, young Joe. All right. 23 is going to have a minor. Who? He's got easy, don't worry about it. 23 is going to have a minor for a hold. Board. And a minor for a slash.
Ooh.
Easy. Okay, you can sit now too. That's good.
This has just been a
He's
really
gonna have,
odd game.
He's going to have a minor for a high stick.
And wouldn't you say that this
and
has just
attempted
been
misconduct.
strange?
Just one?
Yeah, just the one. So we're going to have 2 up on the board for blue.
Yep.
Did he call anything on 94?
Yeah, this game is just, there's been so many penalty. I think there's been more penalty minutes than game minutes.
See the stat? Where they are?
We got a very interesting game going on at CenturyLink Field. 19-14, Green Bay leads.
We're trying to figure this out. We've got 3 Stony Brook players on the ice now. 3. Now here comes the fourth. Here comes the fourth one. Hold on.
I kind of feel bad for Noble Tucker. He's got to be very crowded in there.
Gone awry. Something's gone awry here. There's only 2. Well, actually,
Who's
there'll
got to go up for 23? Nothing goes up for 94.
be 94 is in the box for the Seawolves. He's in the box, but I still got to determine.
I don't think anybody on the ice knows what's happening right now. I think we have a much clue. You know, there's really only one way I can describe this game and the amount of penalty minutes, and I'm gonna go back to high school for this one. A comedy of errors. That's the only way I can describe this game. Either that or the never-ending story.
It's a little difficult too because we're not getting the announcement for a penalty, and it's difficult to do that because you got to listen to the referee, and we can barely hear him. Yeah. All right, face off to the left of Troiano, who's not even ready. He's talking to the ref. Oh boy. Back to the point to Joseph. Joseph pokes it back in. Oh, dangerous play there.
You'd have to think Toronto probably had that oh God look when that puck dropped.
All right, Kavanaugh, Joseph, Kotkamp, and Barbera. Puck is out into the neutral zone. What's the whistle?
What now?
We have another whistle. What? A high stick. All right. And this puck is fired all the way out. Barbera racing to the puck. Here comes Barbera down left wing with Kotkamp. Kotkamp fires! And a save. Joseph in front all alone. Back to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh controls. Barbera fires high off the top of the glass. All the way around. Kavanaugh keeping in. Joseph Perez logged a lot of ice time today. Fired all the way down into the Seawolves zone. Chasing down to it is Muller. Mullen.
As Stony Brook makes their change, Shirting coming on. We got 4-on-4 going right now for another couple seconds.
Yeah, down to the last 152.
And now Stony Brook's got a power play for 39 seconds.
Because it's wrong. Oh, off the post. Lopes.
We're down to the last 20 seconds of the power play here for the Seawolves. And this game, we're down to the last minute 20.
Brewster breaking in. Fires. Saved by Troiano. Loose puck. Yano off to the net.
In about a minute or so, I'm sure everybody in is going to say, thank God this game's over.
Brewster back to the point to Shirting. Shirting sends one to the net. Not through. Kicks it to the corner. Down to the last minute of the game. And, folks, we're going to be back in a couple of weeks as the Seawolves will head west, take a road trip out to Arizona, face ASU and Arizona State. If you get a chance to tune in, we'll be back on February 6th, Friday and Saturday. So, and
game that's only no guarantees on.
Yeah. All right, so you'll be able to tune in and watch them. As you know, when Arizona State came in and played here, they split with the Seawolves, so Seawolves are hoping for at least that when they head out there. Ooh, saved by Jones to a screen.
It's only one game against the Sun Devils and then 2 against U of A. So that's going to be a very important series.
All right. Down to the last 10 seconds to go. Right about now, 10 seconds. And the Seawolves will take 2 from Delaware, actually finish a season sweep and take all 4 games from Delaware. As the game is over and the final score, the Stony Brook Seawolves 5, the University of Delaware Blue Hens 1. Shots on goal through the whole entire game, 36 for the Seawolves, 32 for Delaware. We have too many penalties to mention. We need another day to do that.
I lost count.
So, but we appreciate you guys tuning in and checking out the games this weekend. We love when you tune in and watch us, and we'll be back again on February 6th. So on behalf of our esteemed crew here, cameraman, our special shout out to Aztec Photos for being a commercial of ours as well as a partner. And on behalf of Andy Seekoff, Trevor Bignani, Andy Bignani here signing off for Seawolves Hockey Live. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.